What up, y'all? Here with another album review. Tadoe with Thottiez Thoinkz and Jointz. Now, some of these tracks was also previously released on like some type of mixtape. I'm not gonna go through the songs that was already out before, but Tadoe Tuesday was out before. Gang in this bitch was out before. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the project. Features, you got Sosa, Capo, Blood Money, RP to him, Ball Out, Justo, and Trey Savage. Definitely with, Tadoe, you gonna get some hard beats, a lot of street talk, a lot of gun violence, you know what I'm saying? But basically the production was what got me into this album, because he's not a lyricist. We already know that. He's gonna talk that street shit, so you just looking for some hard beats and some raw lyrics, and he definitely delivered on this project. The first track, Thottiez Thoinkz and Jointz featuring Sosa, that song just hard as fuck, period, out the gate. You know what I'm saying? They flow was cool, a little auto tune here and there. Moving on to number two, Pussy. The song seemed not finished in my personal opinion, but I thought the excerpt that he had in the song was pretty dope. Number three, Going in This Bitch featuring Capo. Gang in This Bitch, my bad. I thought that was another song that was hard as fuck. I love that beat. Capo did his thing as well. I'll be glad when he released his new mixtape if it drops this year. But moving on to number four, You Know How I Rock. That song was hard as fuck, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I listened to that shit. I'm like, God damn, like it's the production and how he's saying certain shit and how he uses his voice on a lot of these records to where it's like, okay, it had your head nodding. And I gotta say that a lot of this shit is not really for the lyrics, it's for the production and how he sounds on the production. So don't get it fucked up and y'all probably say, oh, that shit was trash, it was whack. But you gotta look at it with certain artists. You're not going into it listening to it for a lyrical aspect. It's the production. Just like you listen to Amigos and Chief Keef and things of that nature, you're not really listening for the lyrics. Great production and the shit that they saying. So definitely Tadoe did his thing. Number five, Battle. That's another good song. The production on this shit was just, I was impressed by the beat selection that he had. That's another song where the beat was just crazy. He did his thing on that. Number six, Off the Molly. That's definitely one of them songs where it was crazy. I like the hook on a lot of these songs as well. Off the Molly hook was sort of crazy. I don't really get why people are still doing Molly, but I guess that's his drug of choice. It is what it is. And he definitely broke down, what it is when he off the Molly. Pretty funny. Number seven, Poke. You already know what that's about. I ain't gotta speak on that. It is what it is. That beat was dope as fuck. Number eight, Tutu. That song is fucking crazy. Like that's one of the ones that stood out. A lot of these songs definitely stood out. You know what I'm saying? And when people hit me, it was like, yo, you gotta review Tadoe album. I'm like, what? He dropped the album and look, it's right there on iTunes, and this shit was crazy. But number eight definitely stood out. Turn Up featuring Blood Money. That hook was phenomenal. RIP to Blood Money. I'm not just saying that to be gassing it because, he RIP, but I'm just saying that shit really had me like, wow, this shit is pretty fucking amazing. That hook was crazy. Blood Money did his thing. RIP to him. Turn Up is definitely one of the records where you go want to run that shit back. Haircut, I definitely like this song because it was like, okay, he had, braids, then he had fade, and then he had dread. So he broke down, freshman, sophomore, senior, the stages of how he got his hair to be dreads. And I thought that shit was dope because I'm like, what the fuck, Haircut? What kind of song is that? Some of the titles threw me off, but I listened to it and I was like, I see where he went. I thought that shit was dope. I started with the braids, then I had the fade, then I went to dreads, or was it the fade braid? But you get what I'm saying. You heard the record. That shit was dope. B featuring Ball Out and Justo. I think Justo definitely did his thing on that record. I'm not gonna lie, Ball Out was kind of forgettable, and Tadoe did his thing on that beat. That shit was hard. Drama. This is a song that definitely was feeling like it's a toss up. You know what I mean? But the production alone, with how he's so animated on the record, really was like, okay, I could fuck with this song. Number 13, Enough. I didn't like that. Tadoe Tuesday. That was a dope freestyle. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, he's not a great freestyle. I didn't know it was a freestyle until, like, he definitely said it at the end of the record. So I was just listening like, wow, that beat. Did y'all hear that beat? That beat was fucking phenomenal. Back on It featuring Trey Savage. Trey Savage did his thing. That song was hard as fuck. And the last track, DEA, was just dope. I'm not even gonna sit here in front. So I was listening to this shit like, damn, Chief Keef and Tadoe put out something that's pretty fucking dope. That's rare. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people say Tadoe is the weak link in it. Some people say Ball Out. I personally can't say who is weaker, but I could say that Tadoe definitely improved far as songwriting go. If he goes in there and writes, which I don't think he do, because he said he basically just go in the booth and freestyles what's on the top of his head. Sometimes his words can get slurred where it's like, okay, you definitely making up shit. That sounds pretty fucking stupid. And other times it's like, okay, that shit was pretty, nice. He just got to learn how to ride the beat a little bit more better, develop his craft. And I definitely feel like, he'd definitely be a good artist as far as the drill scene go. But he definitely, growing as an artist. I could say that. I could see improvements in his project. But I give it a fair 7 out of 10. I fuck with 14 out of 16 records, because number 2, Pussy, I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Production is at least a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I think that's fair as well. But you got a lot of banging ass beats, you know what I'm saying? It's a good hooks and just a lot of ignorant type street shit. And that's basically what you get with artists of this caliber. So I had no problem with it. I definitely recommend this if you're looking for something just to, you can work out at the gym. If you're looking for something to turn up to, this is definitely a little bit more edgier than Chief Keef project was. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with it. Y'all let me know what y'all think of it. Did y'all fuck with it? And man, I holla at y'all, man. One.